Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Powerful Man Show. I am your host, Doug Holt, with my co-host, Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I feel a bit frustrated right now, to be
Yeah?
honest, but
This is one of those
it's
rare
all
times that
good.
we haven't talked for like 30 minutes before hitting record. We talked a little bit earlier this morning, just going back and forth. But um, yeah, well, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. I want to jump right into it because I think today's topic is important. As you know, guys that are listening to this, if you listened to us before, and Tim, you know this too, we decided to do a special 30-day training for men, no cost, on how to, really fix their marriage. And we're just giving them one of 1,000 tools and techniques that we have that many men that come into the Powerful Man world spend upwards of $50,000 for a year's worth of education and guidance coming into it. And guys are getting huge results, Tim. It's just in the Facebook group. We're doing this group on Facebook. Our alumni community is on a private group off Facebook. But this group's on Facebook, and these guys are having huge results. And I keep reminding them, it's been 1 week, and they're crushing it. So I'm super excited. And today's topic is going to dovetail right into that, right? Because this is what part of a little bit of a training that I'm going to do for the guys later this week. And so maybe it's already happened. We're trying to work out the logistics by the time that people are listening to this. But what it is taking stock of your marriage and your relationship, right? So maybe you're not married, maybe you're in a really significant relationship, but whatever that is for you, taking stock of where you're at. And Tim, I know you know these levels well because we talk about them in the triad of connection. Guys, if you don't know what the triad of connection is, it's something you want to go over to either back in one of our older podcasts, get in the Facebook group if you can. The free one, there's some information about that as well. We're not going to go into it today. But Tim, let's talk about those three levels today. And guys, what I want you to do in this conversation is just note where you are in your marriage, right? Where are you in your marriage today? Now, as we always say at the Powerful Man, just be honest with yourself, right? There's no judgment here. Come at this with a state of engaged indifference. What is that, Doug? Well, engaged indifference is where you're looking at the situation, you're engaged, right? You're really interested, you're inquisitive, but you're indifferent in the outcome, right? You're indifferent in what's being said here. So engaged indifference. So the first level, Tim, we'll talk about is level 3. That's where things in your marriage are outstanding, right? You and your wife are playing full out in the relationship. She can't wait to see you. You can't wait to see her. You're giving yourself space. She can go out with her girlfriends. You can go out with the boys. Things in the relationship are great. You guys continue to share between each other, with each other. There's no what we call mud on the window or mud on the glass, so to speak. You're completely transparent. You guys are both clear about your finances. There's no one hiding money or squirreling it away. You're honest with her about everything in your life. You both are working on yourselves and your relationship. And as we say at the Powerful Man, your relationship with your partner is number one in your life. So that's kind of the basics of level 3. Is there anything you want to add on that, Tim?
Nope.
All right. So that's level 3. That's where we all want to get to, right? I mean, that's the best. I mean, that's why you got married if you're married. As you looked in this woman's eyes and you saw something amazing. You saw that she completed you, so to speak. Not that you have to be completed, right? But you get the idea of where I'm going with that. So level 3, everything's great. No fixing needed. You're continuing to work on it, but life is great. Now level 2. So level 2 are, things are okay, but they're not great. I mean, come on. We're married. It's supposed to be like this. We bicker, we fight. Yeah, we have sex a couple times a week, maybe. It's not good sex or great sex, but I get mine. Things are okay at the best. We argue. Yeah, she doesn't need to know everything I do when I go out with the guys or that bonus check that I got. She doesn't need to know how I spend it, the cash coming in. She doesn't need to know about my ex reaching out to me on Facebook or Instagram, things like that. She doesn't need to know how much I drink. She doesn't need to know about porn. But things are okay. On average, we're about average compared to the rest of the people around us. So guys, this is a level 2 relationship or marriage. Anything you want to add to that one, Tim?
Nope. I think you did a great job.
All right, I'll just keep going. you jump in. Uh, and so when we look at this, guys, level 2 is what I call the Facebook marriage. Right? Things are great on Facebook. Your wife is posting a couple things with you guys on Facebook and Instagram. She's like, get over here. Let's take a picture. Let's get the selfie. No, you get over here. She's telling you where to do. Your wife's still wearing, in a lot of ways, the pants in the family here. All right. At a level 2. But you get away, you do your thing and going through. And then we have level 1. Now, level 1 is where things aren't working, right? Things aren't working out here. You guys are bickering, you're fighting. You'd rather sleep on the couch or in the spare bedroom, or she would, right? You're not having sex very often. You're always asking for it, or maybe you're not at this point. You just don't care. Maybe you're having an emotional affair. Maybe she's having an emotional affair. But both of you are considering options here, right? If you haven't talked to a divorce lawyer, or she hasn't, right, you're considering it. Right? Things just aren't working out. This is not the way it was supposed to be. She is not the woman that you married, or so you tell yourself, right? Because she's saying the same thing about you. And this is the danger zone, guys. Right? We talk about Divorce Day a lot here at The Powerful Man because it's actually a day that lawyers or solicitors, depending on where you live, they actually know this date in their calendar where divorces happen. We're knocking on that door. And 70% of divorces, over 70, are initiated by the woman. So if you're thinking, well, she's not doing that, 7 out of 10 women initiate divorce. Okay. So this is the danger zone. And this is where most marriages are today, right? The couple is not satisfied. The man's not satisfied. He comes home from work, right? Or this day of COVID, he walks out from the spare bedroom or wherever he may be. And he comes in. The wife all but ignores him. They walk past each other and it's just logistics. Hey, can you take care of the kids? Hey, can you clean up that? Hey, Joey's doing this. Billy's doing that. Sarah's doing this. Can you do that? Can you take out the trash? There's no love really there. They're roommates. And you know what, Tim? They're not even good roommates, right? A good roommate will grab you a beer every once in a while. A good roommate, you go have fun with. This is a situation, this level 1 relationship where most guys are in, is a relationship really of despair, right? You've probably have tried all kinds of things, right? But now you've just given up. Throw your hands in the air. This is the way it's going to be. Either you're looking for divorce and haven't pulled the trigger because you're hoping to get things back, or maybe you don't believe in divorce for religious reasons, for cultural reasons, or what will people think of me? A lot of you guys have tried to solve this level 1 situation with throwing money at it, getting a lake house, getting a new car, getting a babysitter for the wife. When the wife complains, you go through it. We talked about deer, right? And Tim, I know you remember that, guys. In a previous episode, we talked about deer, where you're defending, explaining, right? Coming in through there. And you're actually really rationalizing what's going on in that situation. So you've come submissive to your partner. That typically happens in a level 1. Now, not always. Some guys will fight for this and the woman won't do it. But usually the guy is given up in a level 1 relationship. And Tim, this is where we're seeing most marriages across North America. We had guys calling us actually from Mexico and South America recently. They're having the same thing. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what culture you grew up in. It doesn't matter what religion you grew up in. It doesn't matter how much money you make, right? This is endemic of society, right? Going on right now is the level 1 relationship, and it's a huge problem.
I'd say you said about roommates being level 1. I mean, roommates is level 2, right? Definitely stretches into level 2. If you're lying and hiding things, it's a slippery slope to level 1, right? At best, you're going to be playing a game of snakes and ladders going between level 1 and level 2. And I get it, right? At level 2, a lot of people can think it's okay because of the standard of people that are around them. And, we ask the guys when they're coming into the activation method about what role models they have. Often they have role models in business, but they don't really have role models of other men who are successful in business and also in marriage, in the relationship. So I get that it might not seem like a big deal, right, to have these little tiny lies, let's say, little white lies, but it's it's less about the act and it's more to do with what that is a reflection of, right? So yeah, definitely I'd say level 2, you stretch, you're running the risk of being roommates there. There's no way you can have really quality sex when there's that level of disconnect between you guys that essentially lies create. And also, throwing money at it to fix it. Yeah, we spoke to a guy today, in fact, who has been through the activation method, and quite honestly, it didn't work for him because he left it too late. He came to us way too late. And the painful thing about this is he had a call with us 2 months before he joined. And at that point, he said, nah, do you know what? I'm going to try go on my own. I think I've got what I need to make this work.
Yeah.
And what he was basically doing was using audiobooks and listening to all our podcasts, which is great. But, inevitably, nobody can see their own blind spots, right? And I'm not saying that if he would have come to us 2 months ago, it would have changed things. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But the point I'm making here with this is it's so easy. Well, is it so easy? I don't know. There's 2 types of guys, right? There's guys that are really out there to take control of themselves and their future, and guys that aren't. Guys that are committed to being the best they can be, and guys that are kind of playing at being the best they can be. And in my opinion, the guys that are playing, they're the guys that tend to bury their head. They're the guys that will go to a level 1 and, pretend and pretend and pretend and pretend. Oh, she won't leave. She won't go. Well, I'm too busy to date her. Well, I'm doing enough because I provide. All those stories and scenarios, right? And it, bit by bit over the years, it just eats, the marriage just rots, quite frankly. The connection between the two rot. Whereas the other type of guy is a guy that, might realize he's on the path from level 2 to level 1, but he does something about it. He takes control. He might come across his podcast, listen to a few, and then realize, well, crap, I'm at a level 2 and I'm in no man's land and I've got the 5 agonies and right, I'm changing this. And he does it quickly because he prioritizes his growth. That's how he operates. And he loves his wife too. He loves his kids. He loves himself. So yeah, I say it's easy to fall into level 1, but really, I don't think it is that easy for some guys. Not to stay there anyway, to fall into it maybe, but to hang out there for years when you're aware of it, I just don't. I think, like I said, 2 types of guys.
Yeah, I think, a lot of things. Well, you're definitely in the roommate situation at a level 2, right? It's just not as bad where the pain doesn't outweigh, the pain of inaction doesn't outweigh the pain of action, right? I saw an interesting quote today. It was like, it's hard being broke. It's also hard managing your finances. Which one do you want to choose? Right? Mm-hmm. It's hard being in a level 1 a level 3 relationship at times, right? Because you're working on yourself, you're doing it, right? Mm-hmm. But it's even harder, in my opinion, to be in a level 1 where things aren't working. And I don't blame these guys, quite honestly, because we haven't been taught. I know when I was in the situation, you're kind of looking around, you're going, wait a minute. He's in a similar problem I have. He's in a similar relationship. Once you get to know like your guys, friends, they're complaining about their wives. Maybe this is just the way it's supposed to be. Now, guys that have listened to this podcast, for a bit of time don't have that excuse anymore, right? You guys know what's up, right? And chasing the audiobook and chasing, the books, going to counseling, joining a lower level program even. That's just easier because it's 3 payments and $99. I did that. And you go, okay, I get why this is 3 payments and $99 because I'm getting less than that value. I did all those things, Tim, right? When I went to level 2 and, eventually wanted to get out of there. So you want to look at what level you're in. That's the point here, guys, is just being honest with yourself. So in my marriage early on, we started to really slip, right? We really started to go down and from level 3 to level 1. And it was like, okay, how do we get out of this? And we're trying everything. The Powerful Man didn't exist at the time. But I tried some of the other programs. It didn't work. One program, I won't mention any names, but there's a guy just yelling and screaming. And it's a lot of flashy marketing. but yelling and screaming, and there's no real actionable things to do. There's a lot of theory behind it. And, that's why at the Powerful Man, we have, the triadic connection. We got the hidden motives technique and all these things that we've developed because they work, plain and simple. They actually work, and they've been used and tested on, hundreds and hundreds of marriages successfully. So I don't blame the guys out there if you find yourself in a level, 1 relationship or marriage where things just aren't working.
Hanging out there though, once you realize you're there, you know, I'm sorry, but you've got to take responsibility for that. I'm not sorry. You have a choice. You either take responsibility for that and change it, or you don't, but then don't complain, right? Don't pretend like you want it to change if your actions are saying something very different. Because quite frankly, one of the worst things you can do is realize you're in a level 1. And, we see guys do this often, realize they're at level 1 and stay there for a year or 2, telling themselves that, oh, well, she won't leave. And like you said earlier, divorce day is a real thing. And then only during that time frame to make a lot of broken promises to the woman as well. Because then she starts to lose all trust in you as a leader, in the masculinity that she needs, because you become you just stand by and let things happen. And that's, maybe you're telling yourself, oh, well, I'll lead all day in business. And when I come home, last thing I want to do is make decisions there and lead there as well. Honestly, it's what the woman craves. So there's definitely no harm in falling into it. I get it. We've all been there, but what it's not cool with, or what I'm not cool with personally, is staying there, especially when there's kids, especially when, you love the woman as well. Because the guys that come to us say things like, I just want my best friend back. I've built this great business for us, and if I lose my best friend, there's no point in me having it. Well, if do something.
Yeah, I agree and disagree, right? So where I disagree, Tim, is I think some of these guys just don't know what to do. And that's why I was saying, if you've been listening to our podcast for a while, you have no excuse. We have a lot of new guys coming in, a lot of new guys that are out there searching, and they haven't figured out what to do. They've tried things. Like I was in that situation, man. I was in that situation where I was like, I went to counseling myself. Maybe I'm the problem. I'm successful everywhere else in my life. My wife keeps telling me I'm the problem. Crap, maybe I am. So I went to counseling, and the counselor's like, nope, not you. Like legitimately, like he's like, I don't get why you're here. Like, honestly, which was a great experience, just to get that reaffirmation. Then we went to marriage counseling, which just ended up in more fights. Like it was like, both of us were like, this isn't working, And then I tried the audiobooks, and me, I digest audiobooks like people digest water, but that didn't work. That was like educational masturbation. Right? It just doesn't work. You keep trying it and you lie to yourself that you're doing it. But, a lot of guys don't know that the powerful man exists, Tim.
Well, here's the thing, though, Doug. You were trying things. Some of the guys that will be at level 1 will just be listening to this podcast and listening, which is great. And I'm super grateful for people listening. And if it's not working, guys, you've got to take a further step. For example, whether you join our program or not, right? Obviously, I'm going to be biased towards ours because you're going to get laser focused coaching and accountability to help you see your blind spots. Because at the end of the day, when you go and apply the hidden motives technique, you're going to face challenges, right? Just naturally, everybody does. There's nothing wrong with you that you're facing challenges. It's just the nature of implementing the hidden motives technique. So if you're listening to the audiobooks and it's not working for you, then you've got to invest in yourself in a more meaningful way. Like you were doing, right? You tried the counseling, you invested in other programs, you tried the audiobooks. So you were actively seeking to work your way out of the situation.
Yeah. So guys, what I want you to do here is take a moment and recognize where you are in these levels. And so let's go back through them again. Level 3, things are great, right? No changes necessary. Things are awesome. You get triggered. You're able to walk out of that within seconds, right? Not minutes, but seconds, right? That's level 3 to me. You do things. So what does level 3 look like also? What are some of the other things that you see in a level 3 relationship? Well, in a level 3 relationship, you're doing things for your partner because you love her, period. You're not expecting anything in return. Level 2, got a little what's called horse trading going on, right? Look, I'll give you a massage if you give me a blowjob. I'll take out the trash if you do this. I'll do that if you do this. I'll buy you clothes, let you go this trip with your girls or what have you if you do this. Level 2. Level 3, you're not even doing that anymore, right? You're basically like, screw this. I'm not even going to work on this marriage until she gets her act cleaned up, right? You're
level 1.
Excuse me, level 1. You're playing I'm not going to say you're playing the victim card, really is what you're doing, but you're starting to blame everything on her, right? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to stop drinking till she stops, hanging on her phone. I'm not going to approach her in a conversation until she starts treating me with respect. Those kinds of things are happening. Those are the kinds of conversations that are happening at a level 1. You're really hanging out outside of the marriage. You guys aren't sitting down by the fire, right? Winter, autumn is here. You guys aren't sitting down by the fire and just having a cool conversation like, what's going on? What's your plans for the day? How are things going? What are you reading? Oh, really? Tell me more about that. That's level 3 stuff. That's what I did this morning. Lit a fire. My wife and I sat there, had some coffee, and we were talking about what was going on, a book she's reading and what I'm doing, and the fact that I was going to be meeting with Tim and talking about things to men. She supports me fully in this legacy that we call the movement of the powerful man. But a level 1 is very different. You wake up, you get your coffee. Maybe you make some extra coffee for your wife. Maybe, right? You certainly don't pour it. You certainly don't deliver it, right? Or vice versa. And your conversation is, well, she's not doing it for me. You're trying to get out of the house as soon as possible. If you work there, you're trying to get into your office as soon as possible. Yeah, you're excited to see your kids, but you're really excited not to see them with your wife around, because the truth is, it's painful, right? Behind any anger is pain. So if you're angry with your wife, it's because you're hurt. You don't get angry unless you're hurt. It's just the hierarchy, right, of emotions. So when you look at that, where are you guys? Take stock. If you're in a level 3, awesome. Keep listening to this podcast. Keep applying. Keep doing the work. I applaud you. What I do ask you to do in a level 3, you guys, is to step into the Facebook group and help the other guys, right? This is a movement of men. This is bigger than a course or us traveling to Morocco and doing money mindset training and all kinds of cool stuff that we do with the guys. This is a movement of men. So if you're in level 3, it's your responsibility to do what I'm doing and step up and share. Okay. If you're in level 2, it's time to take action. Be real. Do you want a level 2? No one does, right? You got to get to level 3, and it's not going to be done through audiobooks, guys. It's just not. Not going to be done through audiobooks. It's not going to be done through podcasts. They're good. And I want you to still do them and work with them without getting too many voices in your head, right? Pick one lane. Obviously, I think you should listen to myself, Tim sometimes maybe, but always come through here and do that. And then if you're in a level 3, man, take action now. Push pause on this, reach out to one of the advisors. The advisors we have on our team, right? They're going to see if you're a good fit. They're graduates of the program that have chosen to get on the phone with guys. We turn down more guys than we accept. And it's not because we're some kind of elitist organization. It's just because we know the type of guys that we can help. And a lot of times men come to us. We're like, you know what? You should try. You're on baby steps now, right? We're a really great place to start, but maybe you should try baby steps because you're not quite ready. You're not quite ready to really do the work. And they can tell. And they'll be honest with you. And if you're ready, they're going to give you some opportunities, right? Maybe the activation method, maybe a triad of connection training. It may be something else. And maybe they're just going to say, hey, you know what? Listen to these podcasts first and go do this work. And then come back and we'll have a deeper conversation. Because you're at that level 3, man, level 1. It's time to take some serious action and action right now, right? It's hard to manage your finances. It's also hard to be bankrupt and broke. Which hard are you going to choose? It's hard to have a good marriage. It's hard to go through a divorce and watch another man raise your kids, to go bankrupt, right? Or to give your wife 50% of everything you've built up as a nest egg and watch her go off to another man and another relationship. That's hard too. Which hard are you going to choose, man? Which of those directions? I'm not saying any of this is easy. I'll tell you what, a level 3 is a lot easier to me than a level 1. I've been in both. I've been in both. Level 3, at least when you're doing the work, it's friggin' fun. Right? It's like working out, doing a workout you enjoy, and it's still tough, but you enjoy it. Your music's pumping, you're feeling great. Right? That's what you want. It's going to be work either way. So pick your lane, guys. Tim, any wrapping comments?
Yeah, I mean, don't get complacent in a level 2, right? Because the reality is you're either growing or dying. I don't like that terminology, but it's the truth. Nothing stands still, right? Nothing in this world. Nature, look at it. Everything's always moving and evolving. So in a level 2, if you've listened to this and you resonate with a level 2, like you said, Doug, take action and be smart. Get ahead of the problem, because it's much easier to enroll your wife into from a level 2 than a level 3 than it sometimes is to go from a level 1 to a level 2. You know, a level 1 from a level 2, your wife, there's much more resentment that's built up. There's much more distrust that's there. There's a lot longer. It takes a lot longer for your wife to soften to you again and for her to feel safe with you again, or safe enough again to really start sharing and connecting with you. So it's going to require, consider it like you've cheated on her, right? And you may not have physically, sexually cheated on her, but to a woman, emotionally, having an emotional affair, be it through lying and disconnect, can be equally as damaging. So, that's going to take, you don't want to be in that place of recovering. If you are, then, take action right now. And if you're in level 2, then, my advice to you would be to really get ahead of this. Because like I said, it's either going to go, it's going forwards or backwards. If it's not going forwards right now, the chances are it's going backwards because it isn't standing still.
Yeah, guys, if you're in a level 3, there's a plan. Or you're not in a level 3, there's a plan. If you're level 2 or 1, take action, bottom line. Right? You go to the doctor tells you you have cancer. You take action. Right? Just happened to me, as Tim knows, skin cancer, not a big deal. But you take action. You do something about it. The doctor comes in and says, hey, look, you're going to have a heart attack. Right? Divorce is the heart attack of a relationship. You're heading towards a heart attack. If you don't change, you start to make shifts in your diet. You start to make shifts in your activities. It's time to do that in your relationships, guys. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I just want it for you guys. I'm passionate. If you listen to this podcast for any length of time, I'm passionate about this because I've seen so many men where it's just too late, right? We hear about it all the time. We're in a position where we talk to men every day, right? So I don't want you to be that. I want to be the other side of that story where we talk to men and they're like, it works. It saved my relationship. I'm closer to my kids than I've ever been. My wife and I are happier than I've ever been. She looks at me just as she did when we got married, right? That's awesome. We hear that all the time too. Level 3 or level 1, choice is yours. All right, gentlemen, as always, we want you to take action. So whatever you heard, rewind this, do it, but take some friggin' action, right? Do it now. And then as always, if you're new to this podcast, what I want you to do is go over to thepowerfulman.com. That's thepowerfulman.com/bonus and get your free training. We're keeping the Reignite cheat sheet up there for now because the results the guys are getting are prolific. They're amazing. So we're going to keep it up there now as long as you guys continue to get results. Maybe we'll switch it up in a little bit depending on feedback. This is a movement of men. This is greater than Tim, greater than myself. It's a movement of men just like you. So we want you guys to get involved. But as always, take some action, guys. Level 3 is a much better place to do the work than a level 1 or 2. And I want you guys to have that as well. All right, gentlemen, until next time, we'll see you on another episode of The Powerful Man Show.